The era of getting a list of links is collapsing. We're moving toward autonomous systems that act as independent researchers rather than simple librarians. Generative AI waits for your command to draft an email or render an image. Agentic AI, however, monitors your inbox, understands the context of a client request, pulls the necessary data, and executes the response without you ever hitting generate. This line chart shows top-of-funnel web traffic dropping massively from 13.5 million to 8.6 million as users get answers directly on search pages. But notice this second curve. AI referral traffic is lower in volume, but converts at over 14%. Surviving this transition requires organizations to trade the easy scale of legacy web traffic for the harder work of becoming the definitive, verified answer that an AI agent serves to high-intent buyers. Software vendors are selling the dream of instant automation. Plug in an AI agent and watch your overhead vanish. The reality inside most companies is a messy web of spreadsheets, outdated wikis, and buried PDFs. When you set an autonomous agent loose in that environment, it feeds on that noise. It pulls from a 3-year-old draft policy or a hallucinated summary, creating a destructive feedback loop known as model collapse. An AI agent can only retrieve and execute based on the permissions and the exact state of the database you get it. If your database is a junk drawer, your agent is just a very fast mechanism for making mistakes. Case studies reveal that nearly 80. Looking inside your organization, integrating AI agents into your daily internal operations requires a high degree of precision. Platforms like ClickUp and Taskade are acting as active workflow engines. You can ask them to summarize a messy 40-message thread and instantly turn it into an actionable client portal, all without leaving the window. This power requires strict data siloing. You must build explicit walls between departments, so a workflow agent cannot pull from sensitive HR files to answer a routine vendor question. For knowledge workers and academics, the workflow shift relies on specialized research tools like Elicit and Semantic Scholar. These systems map thousands of peer-reviewed papers to extract hidden connections across disciplines. Because they are grounded in verified databases, they bypass the high hallucination risks of standard language models. These tools eliminate massive administrative overhead, but the researcher still provides the critical interpretation and ethical cross-verification. Mapping the terrain is automated, navigating it is not. For marketing and e-commerce, the battleground has moved from search engine optimization to generative engine optimization. Traditional keyword stuffing is entirely invisible to AI reasoning engines like Copilot or ChatGPT Search. Those systems are looking for data density, not word counts. AI scans your site looking for structure. Deep JSON LD schema explicitly tags your prices, specs, and inventory so machines retrieve data instantly. Once structured, verified user-generated content like Yotpo reviews builds a human moat, protecting your brand from generic AI slop. AI models prioritize verified human experience over synthetic marketing copy when deciding what to recommend. They are designed to seek out ground truth data. In 2026, achieving a high share of model requires turning your brand into a trusted, data-rich entity, rather than just a collection of keywords. Developers are taking a different route, utilizing open-source tools to bypass the steep compute costs of proprietary enterprise APIs. Benchmarking scores across math, code, and reasoning show open-source options like DeepSeek R1, matching leading proprietary models. Specialized models like Kimi Dev 72B autonomously patch codebases using mixture of experts architectures to split operations between deep thinking logic and efficient general dialogue. But that compute advantage comes with a heavy backend trade-off. Running these models require local Docker environments and complex deployment planning to manage the massive parameter counts. On the creative side, generators like Suno and Minimax produce studio-quality music and assets that are virtually indistinguishable from professional recordings. However, commercial use remains a legal gray area. Many of the highest fidelity tools are trained on data that is not their own, meaning they are not copyright cleared for enterprise use. Adopting top-tier open source or creative models requires explicitly trading monthly licensing fees for the burden of strict infrastructure management and legal audits. Successfully deploying Agentic AI requires a complete overhaul of your internal data architecture. It forces you to rethink how information is stored, permissioned, and retrieved. This decision tree outlines the paths forward. For enterprise leaders and marketers, the first branch leads to a total audit of machine readability. You must prioritize the human moat of verified reviews. Structured data and authentic human experience are the only ways to survive the answer economy. The second path is for builders and developers who prioritize flexibility. Utilize open-source reasoning models for code, but rigorously audit every media generator against your organization's specific legal tolerance for copyright risk. The final path is for the researcher. Use specialized synthesis tools to clear administrative overhead while maintaining absolute ownership of the final interpretation. In 2026, competitive advantage belongs to the organizations with the cleanest, most structured data feeds. Strategic value comes from information hygiene, not just tool acquisition.